when it comes to the sprint races, nobody's better than Martin at sprint races.
Right.
I agree.
But I believe that he beats himself every time. He lets the pressure get to him, and that's the differentiation between Jorge Martin and Pecco. Pecco is the more strong-minded rider. Martin is the wilder, take more of a risk rider, you know?
Okay.
And I think that's why the sprint races work for him. It's 12 laps and you could go from the gate, just click and take your chance, take your risk. Pecco normally wins the race because it's 19, 20 laps, and then it's the build-up and the challenge of conserving the tires and not out-racing yourself, like conserving yourself towards the end. And this championship is wild.
Close, yeah, real close.
So
Just 2 horses.
And what about you, Smitty? What's your thoughts on the sprint?
So what Jose just said, I agree. But Pecco's gotten way better because in the past couple of years, like last year and probably, but a year prior, even though Pecco won a championship, he made it hard for himself. But he kept crashing out a lot towards the end and the last couple of races. Like, dog, what are you doing, man? So he has been a bit more mature this year, less risky, more confident, smarter, and he's doing better this year. I mean, he still made a few mistakes, but not as many as he has in years previously. So he's gotten better. And Martin, like you said, he's still aggressive. He still needs better strategy, but I think he's the better rider, but not smarter,
Yeah.
And he's better because the sprints are shorter. The sprints don't really need strategy. You just go, you know what I'm saying? I think that's what Martin does better. But when it comes to like a longer race where strategy is involved, Martin does suffer now a little bit. So, but right now in GP, it's a 2-man race now between those two. So we'll see what happens in the next few races, but it's going to be a good next few weeks with GP right now. So I like where it's at,
What about you?
Well, yeah, like Track Star said, I like the underdog too. So that's how I always grew up. So Jorge Martin, I'm not saying he's my favorite, but I am definitely rooting for him to at least win a championship this year. But this guy, man, there's just something that he has in him that is just like he doesn't seem like he doesn't put out a good strategy most times. Like he's guessed a few times and come up short a few times, a few races. But yeah, I just, this one thing that Rexy talked about, that Pecco will take a lead and he can manage a 1 second or 2 second lead, where Jorge Martin is trying to just pull away and stretch it as long as he can. And it's unfortunate that he crashed out in the sprint, but you see when he got back up, he was overtaking a lot of riders.
Yeah.
So I mean, he needs to just settle in. I mean.
Yeah,
that just irritates me sometimes.
That you brought that up, and that's a good point. That him not pitting, sticking it out, and fighting till the end to try to get a point. He didn't get a point, but at least knowing that he still went in and rode like hell, because he passed a lot of really good riders.